it so far. The big shot. And everyone's saying, well, it's most likely because of all these weapons he has. If they come into Philadelphia, I'm not worried about that offense. I'm worried about that
Defense, baby.
That defense is insane. They play with no hesitation. Fred Warner, I love Fred Warner.
I was just going to say that.
Fred Warner is a heat-seeking missile. He will find you. If you have the ball, it doesn't matter if you're Boston Scott, who's a little short little fella, or you got A.J. Brown. He will find you, and he is going to lay a hit on you. They are a non-hesitant defense, and that's what makes them good. The other thing is I want to see Dallas. I want Dallas. I want them. Bring them into Philadelphia, into a playoff atmosphere. I wish you luck at that point. I feel like that would be the best NFC Championship game in years.
Of all time.
In years.
Yeah.
And I think it would come down to the wire, but I think that atmosphere would just be something else, something you can't find anywhere else. And it's going to be something that if Dak's throwing interceptions, I'm not scared of Dak Prescott. Yeah, he looked good a couple of weeks ago or about a month ago on Christmas Eve against our backup quarterback. But if he's out, if he throws in pick or 2 picks or fumbles the ball, that stadium will not shut up.
Yeah, no.
And it will be such a shit show after that if it would be a different story when San Fran comes in, because it would be not as heated as a rivalry, but with a chance to knock Dallas after all the crap they said this year, with Lawrence saying, "Oh, is it Hurts or is it?" Or no, that was Micah who said, "Is it Hurts or is it the team?" Lawrence said that we have when we were doing well. Oh, Jalen hasn't seen us. All they did all season was talk about us. And I think that's going to come back around and bite them in the ass, because our players are going to be like, they talk that crap all year. Let's just show it to them. Eliminate them from playoffs, send them home, and let's go on our merry way. I want Dallas. That's final. I don't really want to see San Fran.
Yeah, I think that would be a perfect ending to the playoffs, to the season. If Philly beat Dallas after all this year, after both those teams have been so competitive and so at each other's throats, I feel like that's a matchup we all want to see. But I definitely, in terms of Philly winning, yeah, I'd definitely rather Dallas. Because San Fran, man, they are scary.
Yeah, they're on a roll.
That's the scariest defense in the NFL, in my opinion. That front seven is nuts.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I forgot to throw this in. Another reason I want Dallas to beat San Fran is because no team all season has went the next week and won. Every team has lost after they played the San Francisco 49ers, whether it was a win or a loss.
Yeah, I think it's like teams that play San Fran the next week, they're like 0-15 or something like that.
Yeah. So, and people are saying, "Oh, that's like a dumb stat or whatever." No, because that shows that a team's coming in, they are physically gonna manhandle. They're gonna have their way at times, but they're going to lay a beating on you whether you win or lose. And if you got to play next week, good luck, because you're going to hobble over to that next week.
Well, even with the trend or whatnot. Yeah, even with the trend though, the Cowboys were 7-0, or Brady was 7-0 against the Cowboys. So maybe they go and yeah, you don't know. Maybe they come in and put another 1 where a 0 was.
Yeah, but that's like a different story. This is one of Brady's.
Yeah, obviously the Bucks weren't really nothing this year.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to see the 49ers, dude. I'm going to be rooting for Dallas to beat them this week because if there's no way in hell, you cannot tell me for 1 second that the Dallas Cowboys will come into Philadelphia with the NFC Championship on the line and beat them in that atmosphere. Their atmosphere will not happen. I don't care what anyone says, dude. That city will be way too fired up for Dak Prescott. There's no way. It'll be so loud in there, dude. There's no chance.
Yeah, I don't see anyone really wanting to come to Philly and play that game, but
Absolutely
I mean,
not.
you have to. At that point, if Philly wins, you have to. You're an NFL team. I think that the NFL wants it to be Dallas and Philly just because that would bring all the ratings. I think Dallas and the Bucks just put up the most highest watched playoff game of all time, or this something like that, or the most watched game this season they were last week.
Wow.
Going off that, do any of you have anything else to say about the Eagles?
Go Birds, want to know.
Yeah, I'm going to predict a 31-17 victory, Philly. What about you guys?
I'm gonna say 23-20 Birds.
Solid. Bubbles?
I'm going a little bit more of a blowout standpoint. I'm looking at a 38-14 victory for the Birds.
I'm going to go 31-17 Birds.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Luke here. I think 31-17 is a solid score.
Yeah.
For the Birds.
So what, all three of us are saying 31-17?
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's a good score.
That's
Put it on the box.
One. And I'm saying it here first, too. Hassan Reddick strip sack on Daniel Jones. It's coming.
Yeah, I'll say Hurts two total tutties this game. One throwing, one rushing. Going off of Philadelphia, Ethan, do you got anything this week with news with the Sixers?
Yeah. Joel Embiid, MVP candidate, man.
Go. He's the GOAT.
He is.
Goat center.
I read a stat yesterday. There's been 4 centers in the NBA all time to average 26 points and 10 rebounds. Wilt Chamberlain, Elvin Hayes, Anthony Davis, which is surprising, and Joel Embiid.
And the big man in Philly, bud.
So yeah, he's playing great as usual. They won Wednesday night against the Clippers in LA, and they beat the Lakers by 1 on Sunday. So that's great. And their road stretch, I think they have 2 more games than that. So if they could lock down and win those 2 games, they'll be at 30 wins already, which is great for being 500 a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true. 28-16 right now. So yeah, they're in a good spot. They're playing good. They got Maxey back. They're healthy. Tobias Harris has actually been playing pretty well recently. Last night against the Clippers, he had 26 and 6.
That's what we need from Tobias. Tobias has been that kind of guy that I haven't been I like Tobias just because of his personality and stuff. But we paid him a lot of money.
40 mil is a lot.
And he hasn't played to that money at all.
No.
And so if he could start putting up some nice numbers, a run to the finals isn't out of the picture here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we paid Tobias Harris like he was Jimmy Butler. We picked him over Jimmy Butler in the 2019 offseason.
What I think is crazy is the stats that Embiid's putting up. He scored 30 in his last 10 out of 11 games. He has 35 points in 15 games this season. And he's also 8-0 in Crypto Arena against the Lakers and Clippers.
I think something that's going on in the NBA that I've been noticing. I don't know if you guys can help me out here, but the trend this year is score a lot of points. So Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Joel Embiid, these guys have been putting up Luka also. These guys have been putting up 40, 50-point games. I was looking at a stat. This is the most 40-point games, 40 plus, I believe ever in the first half of the season. It's the most 50-point games ever in the first half of the season. And on top of that, we can add a 71-point performance from Donovan Mitchell. Like, this season has been insane for scoring. Is there something like I'm missing that last year didn't have?
I just think it's a high scoring league now, man. Honestly, guys like Ja Morant, Luka, like you said, Tatum, that's just the type of dudes they are, you know what I mean? That's what their teams brought them in for, is to score a ton of points, and that's what they're doing.
I think a lot of it comes down to officiating. We've seen in the past couple of years, they've made rules where it makes defending these players even harder every year. Like, you pretty much can't touch them, or else it's a foul. So that's why you see Joel Embiid shooting 11, 12 free throws a game, and the clock stopped. You're getting free points. It happens to every team. That's why
definitely it's a high scoring league.
Yeah, 130 to 140 point games.
I'm surprised none of you guys mentioned that the Sixers are 16-4 in their last 20.
Yeah,
something like that, and that's really good, honestly, man. I mean, they're averaging 120 points a game. That's, I think, maybe third or fourth in the league. They're 49% from the field. That's ninth. They're 39 pretty much percent from the three, which is sixth, which is pretty good considering Joel Embiid is putting up most of the points. I mean, he's a center, so yeah, man. And James Harden was saying too that the Sixers give him the best chance to win a title. So we'll see what happens in the future. I'm excited with seeing how the Sixers are playing, but I said it last week. I'll say it again. Doc Rivers concerns me. I've never been sold on Doc Rivers, and I know Bubbles isn't either. And I just want to talk about that a little bit. What do you think about Doc Rivers, man? Is he going to be in Philly next year or what? There's been talks about him leaving for a while. What'd you say?
He should have been gone last year.
I think so too.
Yeah, Lori said, you guys know my opinion on Doc. Notorious for choking in playoffs. That's something that you can't really shake. That's what a lot of coaches get fired for, is if you continuously get to the playoffs, that doesn't secure your job. And for some reason, while Doc has been in Philly, he makes playoffs and they're like, all right, he's good for next year. No, we need to stop that nonsense. We have a team that can win a championship, and I believe Doc is the only thing that can stand in that way. Now, if Doc makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals or whatever and chokes it again, I think they're going to keep Doc Rivers again because he made it further into playoffs.
They can't. They can't keep him.
That's what I say, but that's not what the office is going to think. They're not going to think like that, and they haven't thought like that for the past 3 years.
That's true.
You know, we've had teams that are supposed, like, I get some of these years are luck, but I went to a basketball game where the Sixers blew the largest playoff lead in NBA playoff history. And the fact that you don't get fired for that, why? Why don't you get fired for that?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see when the time comes.
That's true. It's true.
Definitely. Rolling off of that, Cam, do you got anything with the Phillies?
Not much. Spring training, pitchers and catchers report on February 15th. That's pretty much about it for them.
All right, so we're going to wrap up the Philly pod, episode 3 of Chilladelphia. Stay tuned. We got the fade coming out Friday, I believe. We'll be recording it tomorrow, and the Philly pod should be out on Thursday. Thank you all for tuning in.
Go Birds.